3 generations of skin experts, more than 36 years of caring for the skin, 360-degree solutions that drive us like an engine driving quality in all our processes, safety in all our products, efficacy in all that we do. We want the best skincare results. By designing and developing our own formulas, innovating with next-generation technology, biomimetic peptides, liposomes, hyaluronic acid, new painless, non-invasive transdermal systems with and without needles to treat all skin needs. Present in over 70 countries through more than 65 distributors from our head office in Barcelona, helping with a presence at the most important international trade fairs. IMCAS Paris, AMWC Monaco, Cosmoprof Hong Kong, Cosmoprof Bologna, AAD USA. Thus creating the best team of distributors and professionals, working together, sharing knowledge, generating synergies. All that drives us is we care.
Muy buenas tardes a todos.
Good afternoon, everybody, or good morning, depending on where you are. Welcome to this afternoon's training session imparted by Toskani. My name is Xavi, and I am greeting you on behalf of Toskani's management. Today, Ida is going to lead our training session. She's one of our international trainers, and the topic is the anti-pollution treatment with MesojectGun. I hope that it will be very interesting for you, and at the end of the session, you will be able to ask all of your questions. Please use the Q&A function on Zoom rather than the chat function, which will help us translators to translate the questions for Ida. So good afternoon, and thank you very much for attending today. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for being here this afternoon in this training session, which we are going to talk about anti-pollution treatment. And I'm going to share my screen, and then we will get going with this afternoon's presentation. As Xavi mentioned before, this presentation is going to be about exosomes and contaminating external and internal agents, which skin receives from the moment that we're born until we die, and how this damages our body. So from Toskani, we've developed an entire range which is specific to working with these lesions, these continuous and permanent lesions that this human being has to tolerate. There is a line for professional use, and then home care products which can be used alongside the treatment that patients receive in our consultation rooms. And we're also going to talk about the pulse booster technology and how we move these active ingredients into the skin. So first of all, we're going to talk about oxidative stress. So how this is triggered and how it develops in the body and in the skin and how it manifests itself. So first of all, we have to talk about the vital functions of the cell. So these 4 main functions, what do they need? They need to be born, they need to grow, they need to reproduce, and then die. So all of these processes and these sequences require energy. It's important to note that they need elements such as glucose, sugar, fats, and oxygen, and they need key elements to be able to develop these functions, which are so vital in the cell. So these functions, which are key in the cell, take place in the mitochondria. This is a part of the cell where you have the combustion, the receipt of these prime materials like glucose, fats, and oxygen. And there you have the transference of this emission, these substances, and the expulsion of others. So in this case, what we obtain is energy. So we have energy at cellular level and at the cellular level, and also we obtain waste. We have this waste, which we know as free radicals. So this is waste which is thrown out or burned by the body for the mere fact of having these substances, these key elements, and they expel others as well. So to face these free radicals, the cell and the cells have to face and form antioxidants to avoid this cellular death. So they have to slow down this cellular death. And we have to make them naturally in the body. And we have to make antioxidants. So antioxidants are created to slow down and inhibit and stop the radical and the free radicals. To stop the damaging action of the free radicals and to generate these antioxidants. So when there is no and there are no antioxidants to pause these free radicals, this creates endogenous oxidative stress. So this process is triggered in the body, and all of the oxidative stress which occurs natural happens. So this is caused by an excess of free radicals and a lack of antioxidants. So let's have a look and evaluate how, as well as naturally in our bodies, in the cells, we can create antioxidants. How else are all of the factors, everything that are inputs, external and internal inputs, how can these be added and help to with this oxidative stress? So here I wanted to present the exposome. So we know that exposome describes the totality of exposures that individual skin is subject to from the moment of conception up until death. So these are both internal and external factors. So we have pollution, UV, solar rays with different wavelengths, and infrared, visible light, temperature changes, which are very brusque, and also internal factors, poor nutrition, stress, cortisol producing activities, lack of sleep. There are internal, external factors which come together, and these are going to join together to this oxidative stress, this natural oxidative stress in the cells, and this is going to create more oxidative stress. So let's have a look, for example, at solar radiation. So one of these types of radiation, this type of damage, affects us. And what are the direct effects does it have on the skin? So sun in itself, so solar radiation, emits different types of wavelengths. So we've already seen that they're not, they don't only send out infrared, but it's also UV and visible light as well. So all of these different wavelengths, each type of radiation is going to interact or going to damage different layers of the skin. So this is going to trigger some lesions or others. So in this case, for example, the UV light, visible light, and infrared light emitted by solar radiation is what promotes photoaging, photo damage. There's also certain reactions with oxygen as well, these chemical reactions in the mitochondria, which can trigger this transfer and this reaction. So we have types of reactions with oxygen. oxidative damage in the oxidation of the DNA as well. But the simple solar radiation, we have different types of emissions of wavelength and how these are going to affect the layers of skin. So another conditioning factor as well, we have visible effects, as we can see directly, that we can note as well and feel, and that others that are going to damage the skin, but which aren't noticeable, but which are also there. So we're going to have a look at the visible effects, so a discomfort in the skin that these contamination can cause or this pollution can cause. The first pigmentary irregularities, you can have discoloration or some pigmentation issues, accelerated aging, the premature appearance of wrinkles, and then dryness, dehydration, and also poor quality, general poor appearance in the skin. So these are visible effects, but also we have invisible effects, which the fact that we can't see them doesn't mean that they're not there. That doesn't mean that they are not triggered and that they're not creating lesions in deeper layers of the skin. So these invisible effects, what are they? So we have an interruption or deterioration of the barrier function of the skin, which is natural in the skin, the transfer also of the keratinocytes internally, and the oxidative damage, this transfer, this chemical reaction, which is generated, this type of reactions with oxygen, these inflammatory states internally, and also they're going to send signals to the skin saying that they are suffering and in deeper layers of the skin, so that slowing down at cellular level, these are effects that are going to that the skin is going to live through in deeper layers in a way that you perhaps can't see. So other conditioning factor then is that can cause more damage to the oxidative stress is cortisol. This is a hormone, and it is set to work in certain moments, for example, when the person is very stressed. And this is what promotes damage beyond the normal ones that we think of. So this might be an acne problem, alopecia, dermatitis, erythema, psoriasis, itching, or some kind of reaction on the skin. This hormone is what causes many other problems beyond in the skin. So it generates a transepidermic evaporation of water as well. The skin loses its capacity to retain water, and it will lose this ability, these hydraulic capacities. So this will cause more epidermic transpiration. Also, the perioxidation and these type of reactions with oxygen, which damage or change or modify the quality of the lipids, and this the production of sebum as well is affected. So atrophia as well of the collagen of the skin. So if you don't rest well, or if you have high level of cortisol hormone, the collagen is affected and it won't be produced as well in the skin naturally. What other conditioning factors can we have? We have jet lag, a change in our circadian rhythm, or a change in our natural biological clock in our body. We have 24 hours in the day, and if our normal sleep pattern is altered, then it may be that our skin is changed as well, and this the cortisol levels may become higher. So sleep deprivation inhibits the production of collagen and decreases the proliferation of epidermic cells and corneodesmosomes. And this process of rejuvenating the cells that we usually undergo when we sleep is altered. And also, the epidermic cells are not reproduced as quickly. So what can we do to face all of these lesions that we've spoken about? So in Toskani, we've developed in Toskani as a very typical for us 360-degree solution. Phase 1, we prepare the skin at epidermic layer, and then we choose the acid that is the most beneficial for the patient to do a peeling and then to create some antioxidant properties as well that we like what we're talking about today. Then we have phase 2, the mesotherapy process, how we introduce our mesotherapy ingredients with our own device and our own technique, and then the importance of following the home care as well. So we have the cosmetic pharmaceutical products which we use at home, and this identifies us as a company, and the final patient is accompanied in the same philosophy and with the same ingredients and the same encapsulation problems in their house. So let's have a look at phase 1. So how do we prepare the skin? So we condition the skin at epidermic layers with photoaging peel. So in this case, this peeling is formulated by 3 acids. So these are 3 acids which strengthen one and the other, and they directly allow the patient to face the antioxidant effect and face the free radicals. So this contains salicylic acid, and which gets rid of the horny layer, and it makes it more homogeneous and allows, then it also has lactic acid, which creates a hydrating and humidifying effect on the dermic area that we spoke about before. This allows the skin to have the ability to retain water. Then we have citric acid, which is an antioxidant fruit extract acid, and it allows the skin to face strong antioxidant action and anti-free radicals action. So these 3 acids that we are going to add to the skin is going to be what we're talking about today. We want to standardize the tone of the skin to reduce discoloration. We want to reduce the appearance of fine lines and premature aging. We're going to improve this sallow and rough skin, and this skin that we see, which is presenting signs of photo damage, we're going to minimize that and try to reverse these alterations. So phase 2, how are we going to do phase 2? So this is when we have to start using our mesotherapy. Which key ingredients do we have to work with exposome, with our pulse booster technology? So before anything, we must remember that we have to insist on the quality and the safety and the sterility of these active ingredients. So this pharmaceutical products that contained in our vials of our products, this can be damaged, this can be altered, it can react with the air or the skin, and our formula may be different. So as we are proud to say that our products from mesotherapy are free from added preservatives, fragrances, colorants, nanoparticles, phthalates, or any human-derived products in our mesotherapy products. So more importantly is than what we're talking about today is the anti-pollution cocktail. So this is ready and prepared with a group of ingredients, key ingredients. So with these synergy between key ingredients, which will allow us to face aging and exposome, these little lesions and pigmentation problems that we have. So thanks to growth factor conditionants, so these are peptides, biomimetic peptides, And these key ingredients will allow them to develop key actions in an encapsulation system, a latest generation encapsulation system with liposomes and the action of hyaluronic acid, which has pharmaceutical quality. So these growth factors are going to promote the revitalization at cellular level in the skin. So grape extract as well, this is an antioxidant, it's very important, which is also present in the cocktail, and also saccharide isomerate, this is an active ingredient which avoids the transfer of melanin and the keratocytes, which can be stuck to the skin, and it avoids this sticking. So here, therefore, we have a cocktail which is ready to be worked with for this problem, which is the exposome. So how are we going to strengthen the force of the action with TKN Advance, in our advanced range? There's biomimetic peptides, which play a very important role and key role, which is added to the strengthening and inhibiting a chemical process, or even to accelerate chemical process. So we have chains of amino acid. They have a very important role, which strengthen the specific actions. So these key active ingredients, or others, liposomes, from the laboratory, we develop these. We develop an encapsulation system, which is specific to maintain the entirety and preserve the active ingredients and keep them intact. And also, the liposome allows them to transport and to vehiculize these active ingredients to the key zones, so to the Diana zones, and this way they can do the action 10 times more than if they were free. So with this encapsulation system, there's much more force to maintain the entirety of the ingredients. So what are which advanced line products are going to help us to strengthen the action? So in this case, a complex of polyrevitalizers, which are nutritive, which is used for global nutrition for problems, and we can enrich it much more, which we can enrich this anti-pollution cocktail. It contains hyaluronic acid, amino acids, coenzymes, minerals, nucleotides, and vitamins. And this will enrich the anti-pollution cocktail and adapt the nutritive products in it, and this to help to cure the certain problems that the skin has. So a biorevitalizer, XS, it contains hyaluronic acid, helps us to increase and to improve the hydrating products, the hydration properties of the skin, to allow it to hang on to water for longer. It has a low molecular weight, but it will work on deeper layers of the skin and will give a deep hydration to resolve any problems of dehydration in the skin. So how are we going to apply these vials, these mesotherapy vials? What is the technique that we're going to use? So our pulse booster technology in Toskani, we have developed a specific device, a MesojectGun, which uses the pulse booster technology. So this pulse booster technology is the sum of two types of technologies in one. So we bring together two techniques, cutaneous electrostimulation and microabrasion. So here we're going to guarantee the vehiculation of active ingredients of mesotherapy without causing lesions in an efficient and safe and accurate and non-invasive way. So we're now going to have a look at the specific characteristics of our device compared with the rest. So as we already know, the electroporation is a type of emission. It's an emission via waves of high voltage and low frequency, which allow us to emit electric pulses onto the skin to dilate the extracellular membrane and the lipid layer to allow ingredients active ingredients to penetrate intracellularly. So this is normally the technique that is most used, or which is very well known in electroporation. So in our case, our pulse booster technology, we use the cutaneous electrostimulation. Cutaneous electrostimulation, I've designed it specifically to emit pulses. So they are in a perfect square wave, a continuous square wave at low frequency and low voltage. So in this case, these characteristics are key to the different types of characteristics. In this case, for example, the square wave will give a constant and homogeneous pulse to guarantee the uniform entry of the active ingredients. So the low frequency, this is for safety and guarantee that we are taking the active ingredients to deeper layers without damaging them due to the low voltage. So we use low voltage to give us the security that we are not causing lesions or damaging the tissues, and therefore we are able to avoid this type of discomfort, the typical discomfort or redness, bruising, wounds after the treatment. So this is what identifies us in our cutaneous electrostimulation, a perfect square wave, low frequency and low voltage. And also, we bring together different techniques of microabrasion. In this case, we have a part, the central part of the chip, which has little bumps, microprotuberations. They're little bumps on the top, which subtly smooths and scrapes the horny layer to favor the entrance and the penetration of active ingredients. And the voltage and the product are distributed much more homogeneously. So this is the thanks to the scraping of the horny layer. So this is what the chip looks like. Here we have a microchip, and we are going to be able to use this on many different parts of the body as well as just the face. And we can see that it has two parts. We have the central part where we have the little bumps, which is where the microabrasion is carried out, and the two bands, the two metal parts to the side is where we emit these constant square wave at low frequency and low voltage. So also physically using a chip is what we're doing is we're focusing, is directing all of these pulses so that they arrive much more accurately and precisely to not disperse the strength of the pulse over a wide area. So we're looking for a very specific place, and the electric pulses are sent there. So what does this guarantee with pulse booster technology? Security, safety, efficiency, and pain-free. So the mesotherapy products are introduced without causing lesions or damaging the skin. You won't have any inflammation or discomfort on the skin. So also the optimization of ingredients. We're very precise when we apply the products with guarantee, and we to make the most of them to the maximum of the quality of the mesotherapy. Also, advantages to bear in mind. This is what it looks like. It looks like a similar, a typical mesotherapy gun, but there's no needle. So it has a chip that you incorporate into the handpiece, and this is what makes it stand out from other products. So it looks for this focused effect. It also allows us to guarantee sterility. Both of the product is taken with a sterilized needle, and the product cannot be contaminated at any moment. It doesn't come into contact with the environment at any moment. There's no possibility for it to be modified or altered. And so it remains, the main ingredient remains sterile throughout the process. So this creates a lot of security for the patient and also for the professional. And so when we finish this introduction of active ingredients of mesotherapy with Pulse Booster, we apply to have a conclusive effect, an anti-pollution peel-off mask. So this is a mask which is efficient for eliminating microparticles, and it improves hydration by up to 70% in the skin, and it eliminates up to 84% of fine particles which or heavy materials which remain on the skin. So therefore, it's a detox effect. It's a detox mask with this type of properties. So what's it made up of? White clay, white ginseng, carbon, and chlorella extract. So all of these are thought through to eliminate these particles, these toxins, which are in the skin, and the action of their damaging actions as well. And we provide deep hydration. So phase 3, home care, the top quality pharmaceutical cosmetic products that we provide from Toskani with the same active ingredients, which are so key that we're working with in mesotherapy, we give them to the home care products. So all of these damaging substances, particles, which can modify and do not enter into our factories. So all of our products are free from nanoparticles, phthalates, and ingredients from humans and parabens. Those aren't in our philosophy, and we are creating pharmaceutical quality products. So liposomes, this is very present in the home care products. So this encapsulation process via liposomes is a system, our latest generation system, which is made up of little molecules of water and filaments of liquids. So the liposome itself and its structure is formed of these key elements. So the liposome itself is made of a biomimetic product, so it's integrated easily and is introduced easily into our skin. So this part of water and this part of lipids, we're going to make the most of it to restore or restructure our natural form in our skin. So the liposome, and we saw before, protects key active ingredients so that they can be released in the corresponding layers of the skin, and therefore they are liberated and they work up to 10 times more efficiently than if they were free in the layers of the skin. So this is where we point out the integrity of the product and how it's transported. So we have a specific line of ampoules, of liposome ampoules, and these have the same synergy of ingredients and the mesotherapy they're used by the that are used by the consultant. So we have the same active ingredients in them, and they are in this format. So in this case as well, we have make a little emphasis as well, and we'd like to point out the use of serums and creams. So we don't only have the ampoules, we also have a strong penetrating effect into deeper layers of the skin. And we also have the mesoserums and the creams, which work on a more mid-layer or superficial layer. And these are an important part of the home care serum as well. So the mesoserums, the texture is more aqueous, it's a little more dense, and the liberation, and it works on mid layers of skin. So the creams, so the texture is much more creamy, it's more moldable, and it works on mid and mainly superficial layers of the skin for hydration, protection, particularly protection at the epidermic layer, so to not cause any damage to the skin's layers. So each one has their role and their activity to do their specific job. So today we're going to have a look at the anti-pollution ampoules. So this is the line with the topic today: to face this damage, this oxidative stress caused by and conditioned by free radicals. And we're going to follow the same philosophy. So the same active ingredients, which are very similar, that we have the anti-pollution cocktail, we transfer them to the home care products. So vitamins A, C, and E, at antioxidant level, they are all containing liposomes to calm and improve the irritations and the irregularities when you have very sensitive skin, and you have grape extract and hyaluronic acid. So we have glutation, which is an antioxidant as well, and it's very important. And the saccharide isomerate, this active ingredient, inhibits nanoparticles and stops them from sticking to the skin. So this, we have here all the effects of the mesotherapy, which we do in the consultation room, which you can now have at home in the ampoule. So here we have the radiance ampoule. In this case, they are directly working with the irregulations, which are pigmentation. So we have dark skin, suffocated skin, which doesn't have much luminosity. So we use phytic acid, acetylglycine, bisabolol, and vitamins. They all come together to work on melanin, which is in the melanocyte, and we control it with this radiance ampoule. So radiance serum as well in the same line. So we also find them in serums. So these have a texture which is more aquagel. So they are absorbed into the skin, and they also have effects which are illuminating, whitening, and the melanin as well. So the hexyresorcinol, these active ingredients which are so strongly present, vitamin C is antioxidant, which are going to give this effect of uniformity and whitening on the skin. And to finish with the cream, the anti-pollution total defense cream, this is the last ingredient, the last product that closes the anti-pollution range, the total defense cream extreme, which any condition that could damage the skin by both external and internal factors, it's made up of peptides, so different types of peptides. We have chains of amino acid, which play a very important role when facing oxidative stress, the damage to the barrier function of the skin. Above all, this product contains filters, so filters which can face ultraviolet light, or UVA and UVB, infrared, and also blue light. So blue light coming from tablets, mobile, smartphones, computers, anything like this. And this can damage the skin. So this has a type of filter which allows you to add extra protection to this type of radiation. So we also have products which are added to strengthen the action to keep it, to accelerate this renovation process. So these peel boosters, they prolong the effects of the peelings. So these contain acids. So for example, glycolic acid 20%, phytic acid 20%, it maintains a correct work of the melanin, and it conditions the pigmentation issues in skin. So here we have Retisil peel booster, you have retinol, vitamin E, bifida ferment, and it keeps the skin looking awake, and it helps cells to regenerate and has a strong antioxidant effect. So it stimulates the production of collagen and the structural elements which are so important, which favor the rejuvenation. Let's have a look at the protocol, and this is how you will have an idea of how we work and how we treat did the type of skin with these characteristics. So the skins that we said before, which is switched off, that you notice all of the lesions in certain areas. So we always are going to do mesotherapy with our pulse booster technology, and when we do this every week. So every week we have a session of mesotherapy, and we're going to mix it with this anti-pollution cocktail. So with grape extract and antioxidants, and we're going to mix this with the polyrevitalizer to provide nutrition and condition the skin and give the nourish the skin from inside. And also we will have hyaluronic acid with low molecular weight. So this will be the weekly sequence of the entire process of suffocated skin or oxidated skin. We can see as well the photoaging peel that we saw before, this combined acid, salicylic, lactic and citric acid combination, which helps at the epidermic layer to keep the skin looking renewed and active with the photoaging peel. So we will see how, for example, in the first week, in the fourth week, we are introducing this action. We're accelerating and we're giving inputs to the skin and wakening it up and making it more able to fight off free radicals. So we're now going to have a look at the application protocol from the beginning to the end with this same protocol that we've seen just now. So I'm going to, we're going to clear the skin first with the energizing cleanser. So this is to cleanse the skin. It's with cucumber and ginger. Those are the main ingredients. So we're going to mix it with a bit of water, and we're going to do circular movements and then we're going to clear the skin of the face, and this can be used around the eye area, the cleavage area as well. So it's not irritating, it doesn't cause any irritation, and this is used around, this can be used everywhere, even around the eyes. So we dry the skin here, and then after that we are going to finish by cleansing the face with bamboo tonic. So this is based on aloe vera, bamboo, and it also contains orange and lemon as well, and a little bit of hyaluronic acid to wake up the skin and to help us to keep it as it's meant to be. So we'll just let it absorb a little bit, and then we will dry the face again. So we're now going to prepare the skin. So we're going to apply an acid with their own filaments, which are going to eliminate this horny layer, and we're just going to prepare the skin for that to eliminate it completely. So we're going to protect certain areas with a dermic protector around the eye area, the lip area, and also the nostrils. So we don't want any acid getting on these areas and damaging them. These areas are sensitive and delicate, where we don't want the acid to be directly applied to. So we want to protect these systems. So we now cover the eyes, and for greater security, when we apply the acid, we're just to make sure the patient doesn't open their eyes while we're putting it on. So the product is now unable to go into the eyes. So we are now going to apply the acid. So for example, if we remember the acid, this photoaging peel, so this is a combination of salicylic acid, which is sebum regulating, then lactic acid providing hydration to the skin, and the citric acid, which has the comes from fruit extracts, which helps directly to face, has a strong antioxidating action of free radicals. So we're going to let it work for, we put it on with a small paintbrush, as it were, and to give a much more homogeneous distribution over the skin. And we allow it to work for between 5 and 7 minutes. 7 minutes, absolute maximum. That will be the total time that it's on. And then this, we allow it to work properly as it's meant to. So after these 7 minutes, so we are going to move on to the neutralizing part. So we're going to recover the pH of the skin. So with the acid, we've stimulated this pH, and we're now going to neutralize it so the skin recovers its natural pH. So we spray on, spray this on the skin, and we help with our hand to make sure it goes into every area. We fan it as well to condition the skin and to remediate any sensation of stinging that the skin might have. Automatically, we will remove it all with a paper with a wipe soaked in cold water. So now we're going to apply the pulse booster technology with the mesotherapy. So here in this case, we are using the anti-pollution cocktail, as we saw before, with growth factors, and it's enriched with NCPR. So we adapt our MesojectGun. We load the chip in the upper part of the handpiece. Then we load the cartridge with the syringe. And then we can see that the vial is sterile. It's not bringing into contact with the air at all. And we work directly with it on the skin. So for safety and all the sterility this product can offer until the very last moment. So the use or procedure in itself of electroporation, what this pulse booster is, we can work on it in parallel lines following the ergonomy of the face itself in horizontal lines, as you can see, in ascending order. So we can also stretch out the skin a little bit so that the machine can follow the natural contours of the space. So as this is a technique which doesn't cause any damage or lesions, you can use it directly above on the upper lip area, under the eyes, near the eyebrows. So you can use it very close to the eye area, obviously not directly on the eyelid. It wouldn't be necessary, but this is a technology which is not invasive. And so therefore, it doesn't cause any tears or any discomfort of any type at all. So we avoid the moving eyelid, but we apply it topically, and we can work around the eye area. And then we have the forehead. We work in horizontal movements or even vertical movements, whatever's necessary to promote the introduction of these and the homogeneous distribution of the product. So we go from the right-hand side, as you can see, towards the left, and we will do the same on both sides of the face. We use the same process and the same types of work on both sides. So to finish, we use the anti-pollution mask. So this we've already seen before: ginseng, carbon, chlorella extract, white clay, which will allow us to finish the detox effect as well. If there are any particles left on the skin, we'll leave this working for 15 minutes, around 15 minutes, more or less, and then it can be easily removed. We just peel it off. It's very comfortable to remove, as you can see. All of our products are easy to apply and to remove as well. So to finish then, once we have removed the mask completely, we use a gel. So this is based on aloe vera, and this is going to help us to refresh and rehydrate the skin after all of the treatments. And then to finish, we will have the anti-defense, the total defense cream with filters against ultraviolet lights, blue light, infrared light that we're subjected to on a day-to-day basis. So we're going to finish with this type of product to guarantee an intense and absolute process. So I'd now like to share a few studies that we have done. And from here in the laboratory, we have seen some clinical trials where we have this type of analysis, VisioFace, for example, lots of different type of devices and measuring devices where we can see the level of melanin, the level of hydration in the skin. And we can see how these extensive clinical studies can help us to determine and share this type of study with our clients as well. So, for example, after just one treatment session, automatically we can see that the skin is much more illuminated, much more protected. We can also see minimization of the pores as well. We can see how the skin is much more calm. And we point here to notice is the irritation around the moustache and chin area, especially in men's faces where they shave a lot. They often get a lot of irritation around these areas. So all of these products help to reduce inflammation in these areas and improve this irritated area, for example, around the cheek and chin areas. It also improves melanin by 20%, the reduction of melanin by 20%. So, for example, you have expression lines here. This slows down the premature signs of aging. For example, these little lines that we often get around the eyes. Okay, so that's everything I have to say for the presentation for anti-pollution range. So I'm now going to invite you, if any of you have any questions to ask, please can you ask them in the Q&A function of Zoom, and then I will answer those for you. So are there any questions? Okay, let's have a look.
Nos comentan, vale, al inyectar la máscara es con agua fría, sí, preferiblemente que se mezcle con agua fría los alginatos. Va a ser muchísimo más cómodo, idealmente.
Okay, so do you inject do you use the peeling mask with cold water? Yes, that's much more comfortable. So when you inject the radiance, my patients have a strong sensation of stinging. What can I do? So with pulse booster technology, you're not going to use this technology of injection with needles. So preferably, we prefer to use this technology of pulse booster. Then you won't need to use needles and they shouldn't get any stinging. So with skill
en el protocolo. Bien, el cóctel antipolución le puede hacer una buena acción de defensa, aportar esos factores de crecimiento y esa fuerza antioxidante, pero sobre todo yo le añadiría, por ejemplo, gibilón, el ginkgo biloba, asiacén, también la centella asiática a nivel venotónico para aumentar la resistencia capilar. Por lo tanto, también incluiría dentro del anti-pollution algunos viales de monodosis para potenciar la acción de ese cóctel anti-pollution, ¿de acuerdo? Trinamide también puede ir bien, también el grupo de vitaminas B para seborregular y controlar esa rosácea. Vamos por aquí. ¿En cuántos procedimientos se puede usar el chip? Normalmente con un chip podemos hacer más o menos unas 5 o 6 sesiones, ¿de acuerdo? Siempre y cuando se limpie correctamente y se guarde correctamente, se puede volver a usar. Pero esto cada uno como quiera. Se puede usar, desechar a cada sesión o bien limpiar específicamente. ¿Cómo podemos hacer el pulse booster antes del peeling? Sí, podéis hacer el pulse booster antes del peeling, pero no tiene mucho sentido, ¿de acuerdo? Nosotros en la misma sesión preparamos a nivel epidérmico con el peeling, trabajamos a nivel epidérmico y rebajamos, mejoramos permeabilidad y automáticamente introducimos el principio activo, ¿de acuerdo? Entonces, mejor por un correcto procedimiento, paso a paso, primero hacer el peeling y después aplicar el pulse booster. Hay sesiones que no nos toca o que no vamos a hacer peeling, porque ya sabemos que los peelings son quincenales, y sí que vamos a hacer solamente la acción del pulse booster. Ese día que no hay acción de peeling. Pero si vamos a juntar las dos acciones, primeramente el peeling, el ácido, y después pulse booster. ¿Vale? ¿Qué más hay por aquí? Este dispositivo sustituye transdérmica, la electroporación transdérmica es diferente, ¿de acuerdo? Aquí usamos por la onda cuadrada continua, bajo voltaje y baja frecuencia, ese tipo de estándares, de características que hemos desarrollado a la hora de fabricar y elaborar este equipo, nos da un paso más a esa electroporación transdérmica o más convencional. ¿Vale? Por lo tanto, esa seguridad de introducción del activo sin dañar tejidos. Según qué tipo de electroporaciones, según qué tipos de voltajes, de frecuencias, pueden dañar otros tejidos y por lo tanto por eso nosotros usamos específicamente estos estándares: onda cuadrada continua, bajo voltaje y baja frecuencia. Nos preguntan por aquí, a ver si preferiblemente una sesión. Vamos a ir a preguntas y respuestas. Me preguntan por aquí: yo estoy feliz con los resultados de mis pacientes, especialmente ahora que puedo complementar con ampollas en domicilio. Bien, siempre que vamos a potenciar la acción domiciliaria, se ve mucho más éxito en los resultados. Obviamente, la garantía de resultados y de efectividad aumenta. Mi pregunta: Retisil, ¿cuánto tiempo de aplicación está indicado y con qué frecuencia? Estos productos tampoco hay que abusar demasiado. Son productos que los vamos a usar durante una época, una temporada, unos, por ejemplo, 2 meses, 3 meses, más o menos, en días alternos, preferiblemente por las noches, aplicaciones en la noche, ¿de acuerdo? Aplicaciones nocturnas, ya que contiene un poco de ácidos, son productos que los vamos a llevar a uso de noche y siempre con una correcta protección solar por las mañanas. ¿Se podría hacer un scrub suave en las sesiones donde no toca peeling químico? Gracias. Depende. Si la piel la vemos ya preparada, renovada, recuperada de la sesión anterior, si fue un peeling químico o un ácido, podemos aplicar un scrub, podemos aplicar un peeling exfoliante más suave, pero no siempre y cuando vamos a asegurarnos que la piel esté recuperada del procedimiento exfoliante previo, el procedimiento de exfoliación anterior. Vale, no sé si hay más dudas. Un rostro con manchas, ¿y puede hacer 2 peelings seguidos de 15 días en 15 días? Sí, mientras que el peeling pase en más o menos 15 días, 21 días entre sesión y sesión, está todo correcto. ¿O es preferible una sesión hacer peeling y en otra sesión hacer MesojectGun. Ya habéis visto, la misma sesión, ya veis el protocolo. En la misma sesión hay sesiones que podéis hacer peeling y automáticamente MesojectGun. Y la semana siguiente no haríamos peeling porque una semana es muy pronto para realizar otro peeling, pero sí que haríamos otra aplicación con Pulse Booster, otra aplicación con MesojectGun. Siempre vamos a tener en cuenta que mínimamente vamos a hacer sesiones o protocolos de mesoterapia de 6 sesiones de mesoterapia semanales, una en semana. Y el peeling químico va a ayudar en esa sesión 1, esa sesión número 3, en sesiones alternas para trabajar a nivel epidérmico y mejorar el transporte de activos, la permeabilidad de la piel a nivel epidérmico. ¿De acuerdo? No sé si hay alguna preguntita más. Si no, vemos por aquí. Estamos paralelamente tanto en preguntas y respuestas como en el chat. Podéis escribirlo en ambas zonas. Bueno, pues si no hay más preguntas, no hay más dudas, nada, despedirme y daros las gracias por sobre todo vuestro tiempo que habéis invertido en Toskani. Muchas gracias por estar ahí, a todos vosotros, por vuestro tiempo, por vuestro interés. Y bueno, vamos viéndonos próximamente en las próximas formaciones. Muchísimas gracias a todos. Muchas gracias y un saludo muy fuerte desde España.